Hi, good evening, everyone. A very good evening to everyone over here. If you can see us, if you can hear me, quickly type a yes in the chat box. Yes, okay. So we are audible and we're visible. All right. So today's webinar is about artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? So we have with us Mr. Dilip Kumar Singh, who has around 15 years of experience in academics and research. He is the head of JLU School of Engineering and Technology. He received his doctorate and master's degrees from Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, Bhopal. He is a certified trainer for the software development program of Carnegie Mellon University. He has written and published numerous research papers and has chaired a number of conferences. He's a member of the CSI and the ISCA and has been awarded with the Tech Guru Award by CII. We welcome you, sir. We also we also have with us Mr. Savinay Patlola. He is the Chief Technology Officer at Mindler. He is an alumnus of the prestigious IIT Kharagpur. He has 2 years of core engineering experience, followed by leading product and engineering experience across multiple edtech startups, and he's a machine learning expert. You certainly cannot find a better person to seek guidance from than someone who has walked the path.
Thank you,
We
Swati.
welcome you, sir. I am Swati. I am a career coach at Mindler. I have worked with a number of students across the industry. Right. So we will be starting with a small presentation that we have for all of you. So can we start?
Yes, Swati, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So basically, today's webinar, as you all know, is about emerging careers in AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Let's just have a quick intro of what AI and ML is all about. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, we're talking about, replicating human intelligence in terms of machines. We're trying to get machines to respond like human beings do. And we try to use data for all of this. Machine learning, on the other hand, is a subset of AI. AI is like a huge domain, umbrella term, and machine learning is a subset, which is a technique wherein we're using as much data as we can to train machines to learn and to train machines to take decisions and then apply whatever they have learned. So just a quick Venn diagram to show you what it's like. AI is like a huge subset, major subset. Within that, we have machine learning. And within machine learning, we have something called deep learning. Deep learning is a little about, particularly whenever we're trying to understand complex images. We're trying to do image recognition, speech recognition. So all of those areas will be covered under deep learning. So Savinay sir, over to you to take the students through the area of AI, ML, and deep learning.
Sure. So, guys, let me just kind of recap what Swati is trying to say in terms of what is AI, ML, or deep learning, right? Hope all of you can hear me here. Yeah. So, okay. Artificial intelligence, to put it in simple terms, right? Machine intelligence, which can replace human brain. That is how AI is defined, right? Now, honestly, does AI exist today? No, according to me, there is no such AI yet in the world today, right? So suppose let's take the closest resemblance on what is AI. Have you heard about this Sophie, humanoid bot which is built in Saudi Arabia, which looks like human, which speaks to humans, right? It is also being awarded, like I think it was already awarded a citizenship in Saudi Arabia, right? So that is the closest resemblance of AI we can see today. So what does it entail? So entire Sophie, it's not actually human. It doesn't have the human brain. It is just an intelligent chatbot. Are you aware of chatbots? So a chatbot is nothing but like suppose if you go to any most of the websites today, you get automated replies through text or through voice. You get that automated replies, right? That entire interaction is known as a chatbot. Now there are text-based chatbots, there are voice-based chatbots. So Sophie is a kind of advanced voice-based chatbot, which is being designed as human, right? So machine learning is a concept which enables that chatbot. So it is a subset of AI. Machine learning is a kind of combination of various techniques which is trying to enable AI in the world today. Now, what is deep learning? So, machine learning is a set of algorithms, well coded algorithms, which a logical algorithms, algorithmic flow, which gives you a certain output on a particular set of inputs. That is machine learning. So, there is an input data, you need something in an output. So, whether it's right or wrong, the most predicted output is what machine learning gives. What is deep learning? Deep learning is learning by itself. So, deep learning kind of will whatever output, whether it's right or wrong, it learns on itself and kind of modifies your next output. Suppose let's look at a chess board, right? So have you played chess with a computer at level 10, right? Still they are static boards, but there are advanced chess boards which learns on every move. Suppose today if Vishwanathan Anand wins a chess game over with that board, right? With the same set of moves, they cannot win it again because the system has already learned that, right? So that is a concept or application of a deep learning. Let's look at, so in today's session we'll look into some brief examples or some concepts on what are these applications of AI and ML and what are the trending career opportunities or the trending careers in this particular domain, right? You can see an image of Google Maps here, right? So if you remember, like the first image which you can see, that is like before 2010. The second image is like 10 to 12, 2010 to 12. The last image is like in 2019, right, of the same place. If you can see the difference, right, what has Google Maps done? Initially it was just Google Earth. So if you know Google Earth is a kind of three-dimensional view of the whole world or the earth in a proper visualization manner. You can drag and kind of walk through all these cities, right? Now Google Earth was launched in 2001. Then in 2004 or 5 Google Maps was launched. Why? Because in terms of the satellite view, it was only an information where which city or which place exists where in terms of streets or whatever public information available. Now if you see the second image, the satellite imaging was enhanced, it was slot customized to identify the buildings, to identify the size of each building inside each location. That is what second image represents. Third image represents every business present in that area or present in every street. Now, what happened over a period of time with Google Maps is customers started feeding data to maps. What do I mean by that? So the first image was originally fetched through satellites purely by Google themselves. But the last image you see, 90% of the data here you see is being fed or kind of obtained by the user inputs. Like suppose you create your own business, you create your own home. So there is not a single business today in the world at least who doesn't have a Google Map location, because that's how the user is feeding the data, right? Without that data, Google will or the maps will not learn the ideal way to reach a place. Even if you look at the path from point A to point B, if you have used Google Maps 4 or 5 years ago, the accurate prediction with which it shows the amount of time to reach point B was not so great. But today it almost matches based on the type of vehicle you ride, whether it's a car or a bike. Based on that, you see that accurate prediction. That entire data is possible because users are feeding in data. So whatever data analysis is happening, that is the best example of AI today, which you see in your daily life, right? Google Earth has become obsolete in terms of the actual usage. Aina is asking why Google Earth came into 2000. So Google Earth, or even the first version of Google Maps, is just purely based on satellite imaging. It is only a one-way capturing of data and putting it to the users. Google Maps has evolved over time to capture the user data and evolve, which implemented a lot of machine learning and AI tools to give us the best output on what we seek, right? Okay, moving on to another example. So what are the different everyday examples like this? Have you seen this smart replace in Gmail? shopping recommendations on Amazon, social media feeds, some suggested fields inside your Facebook or LinkedIn feeds, Google search algorithm, video recommendations on Netflix, Google Maps, all these variables and your IoTs, all these chatbots and IoTs, right? So all this comes under your daily examples of AI. So what is AI here? Let's quickly look at a smart reply on Gmail, right? So if I don't know if you have used this, so can you see my screen? Right. So suppose I'm writing a mail to a couple of people here, right? So I'm writing a mail to Mindler and Swati. So as soon as I write dear and press space, I got a recommendation here saying, okay, do you want to write to dear Mindler and Swati? Right. Suppose as soon as I write as discussed, so I was just starting this, right? So it understood the predicted the word what am I going to write. As soon as I have written like O as discussed over the phone. So all this entire predictions you see over your smart replies, right? All this thing comes from just a second, let me start. Yeah, so all the smart replies you see in Gmail is nothing but a proper decision tree algorithm, right? Suppose there are 100 possible words I can write after I write as, right? All those 100 words are put in a decision tree, and you are kind of filtered. All your next possible words are being filtered automatically inside the system, right? So this is one of the particular applications of ML. So we'll walk through a couple of such examples which will give you an idea of what is that application. Then we'll walk through the practical careers possible in this domain, right? So decision trees is one such famous algorithm in AI and ML which gives you this kind of features in Gmail, right? Let's look at chatbots, right? Hope most of you will be using like Alexa or Echo or Google Home, right? Now, what does Alexa do? As soon as it takes a command, right, voice is converted into a text. So whatever voice you give, like suppose let's say Alexa play some music, right? That voice is converted into text. That speech recognition involves a lot of natural language processing and natural language understanding, right? Now that is being processed into servers and kind of given a logical output. So as you can see in this image, 1 2 3 are nothing but the request which is flowing from the user to the server. All the responses which are coming through 4 5 6, based on your action, whatever you have asked, that response is coming from back from the cloud servers to the user, right? This entire flow of chatbot is working on a concept known as natural language processing. There are a lot of applications in terms of smart home device, smart refrigerators, smart air coolers, smart ovens. All this smart stuff work on this kind of ML algorithms which kind of uh, understands what you would need based on the input. Based on that, a particular operation is being performed, right? So what is that NLP? So we just saw based on, so if you speak to an Alexa, right, it processes and gives you some output or gives you an answer saying I don't understand, right? So what happens in the background? So when you're speaking naturally, your natural language processing is divided, any statement you is divided into two different parts, which is entity and the intention. So intention of this statement, suppose let's look at this statement, show me yesterday's financial news, right? So Alexa reads it as, okay, he like user wants to see some news. That is the complete like clear intention, right? Second is entity. What does the user want to see? Yesterday's finance, right? So yesterday's finance is passed as an entity. That way any command you give is being processed by these bots in terms of understanding the intent and entity and gives you respective output. So if you look at all these examples, Facebook's Vid.ai, Microsoft's Louis, Google's Dialogflow, Amazon's Alexa, all these uses this NLP algorithm. So a lot of stuff, a lot of data is being processed, a lot of logical algorithms are being built for backend servers to give you this kind of answers in terms of, so a lot of people now, suppose if you look at Alexa today, right, it's so simple that you speak and gives a reply. But there are at least 20 different type of people who are involved in processing this data at every stage. When I say people who has built in that system of automation at every step to handle that flow of data, right? So this is one such example of NLP. This is a practical application, like all these bots are practical applications of NLP, right? So let's look at a few applications in across different domains, right? Suppose let's look at image recognition. uh, Image recognition, let's say, have any of you used this Google's image search? Right, you can upload an image and search like similar images over Google, right? What does that do? So it basically pixelates your image into every different icon and forms a particular shape inside that image. That image is being searched, that particular pixelated part of that image is being searched in across the web and gives you that similar results. Google Lens Subjot, yes, it is not exactly image recognition, but yes, you can call it image recognition. It's more of a text recognition across anywhere, right? Now, again, coming to virtual personal assistants, all these chatbots which we have discussed. Again, coming to email spam filtering. So suppose if you use Gmail, right? At least 20% of your emails are being marked as spam automatically. So Gmail has got a lot of keywords, lot of mail server IP addresses, which actually detects original spam and marks it as spam. That entire spam filtering, suppose sometimes you get irritated by some of the promotional emails, you have to mark it as spam. So if there are 100 users continuously marking a particular email ID as spam, Google automatically adds that entire email ID and that email server into its spam filter. That's how this spam filtering is kind of enhanced day by day. Even in medical diagnosis, have you heard about IBM Watson, right? Entire medical diagnosis today, there are a lot of tools are being applied, a lot of diagnoses are being applied, bots are being deployed to handle COVID patients across countries, right? So that medical diagnosis is also possible using ML algorithms, and just started being used. Online fraud detection, so a lot of banks, even the governments, have got a lot of systems in place, cybersecurity systems in place, which has a particular typical set of patterns recognized based on that past data, right? So if you look at all these examples, even again, another example is automatic cars, right? So hope you have heard about Tesla, right? All these automations in terms of any automatic cars or even fraud detections, right? They use a lot of data. Without a background data, huge volumes of data is the key to build any application in ML or AI. What do I mean by that? So suppose, let's say, there have been a lot of like, suppose, how does Tesla work? So if you look at any autonomous car, it is traveling on a road. So there are 10 different parameters when you look at the video feed of a car, right? The road, divider, and the kind of boundaries of that road, and signal boards beside the road, and sky, of course, right? And other vehicles. So these are 5 to 10 different parameters which are being used and fed into camera feed of a Tesla car. And every such image, like, there are at least 10,000 to 10 lakhs and millions of images of every possible signboard, which is being fed into the system and kind of understood by the camera on what action to perform based on that particular signal. Suppose if you look at a 80 kmph, 80 miles per hour limit speed signal, that signal is being understood and kind of speed is reduced or speed is increased accordingly there, right? So this kind of prediction, this kind of understanding and translation into autonomous bots is nothing but application of ML. That requires a huge volume of data. Without, if the Tesla car doesn't have any background image or background data in terms of how to read a signal board, right, then it would never be able to understand what to do, or what is that number. Like, even if it's written 80 there, what are the different possible ways of writing that number 80 and what a car should do at that point? It would not be able to understand without that background data, right? Okay, someone is talking about regression calculation. I'll be happy to talk about all these regressions or even neural networks and stuff. I don't think we have enough time to go into details of every ML algorithm. Okay, traffic prediction, Ramesh. So if you have heard, recently in Hyderabad, there are almost 40 signals where signals. So there are a timer on each signal, right? So that timers are being modified based on the amount of traffic on road. So these traffic signals are integrated with Google Maps to predict traffic and to kind of understand the traffic flow across each direction, and the signal is being modified accordingly. This is a practical application which is already implemented in a lot of cities today, right? So that traffic prediction across different cities, based on that, so Google also gains more knowledge in terms of when a traffic signal is also understanding in that way. Google also can predict the traffic based on the last 5 days signal timer there, and kind of give you an alternate route also, right? So that is a practical, another practical application of ML algorithm. Yes, moving on. So as we have seen, like a lot of applications in terms of autonomous cars to traffic predictions, web search. So even the web search, if you look at recommendation engine, right? So if you search anything in Google, you automatically get some recommendations. So before you type the whole statement, you get that recommendation, right? So that recommendation engine and also the search result. So how does Google like keep you updated with all the best content on the top or in the first page always, right? So it kind of understands your search query based on your geography, based on your past search behavior. Based on all these things, your web search and recommendation engines work. That is how Google has become so much efficient, right? So in terms of speed of this data, on how fast this data is being projected to you or how fast the data is being shown to you in Google search and stuff, that is again different side of it. That's not ML, that is more of cloud computing or the data mining side of it, right? So if I look at if you talk about AI or ML and stuff, right? So what is that basic path, or what is that basic career you have to go through? How to learn AI and ML without going to college? Arvind, definitely there. So everything is on available online today. You don't need to worry about going to a college. But yes, today a college degree, look, not only today, any day a college degree would matter and give you that structured knowledge about any subject, right? So I'm not asking you to do that specialization, but more in terms of you need a relevant academic degree. What is that relevant academic degree? If you talk about anything in ML or any building any ML model, right? You need 3 to 4 different type of people. Someone who can feed the data into the system, because data is the key. Someone who can understand that data and kind of process that data. Someone like a data scientist, someone data analyst or stuff. Then someone who can build that ML models and kind of code it up. So that's where the computer science engineers come into picture. So either background of maths and stats or a background of computer science will be kind of a good base for you to build a career in AI and ML. Right? So, okay, moving on. Let's kind of look at, okay, AI, ML, we have been talking about this. What are the different designations of people in this domain? Data analyst, data engineer, data scientist, as we have been talking, right? ML is machine learning. Okay. What is the difference between data scientist and AI, ML scientist? So, Rahul, I'll give you a quick idea about this. I've discussed this in the last webinar, also in the data science webinar. So, data scientists are someone who processes and analyzes and visualizes a particular set of data. So, data scientists are someone who can give a structure to an unstructured data. What does ML, AI, ML scientists do? They build a machine learning model to understand the data and kind of give that prediction out. So that prediction or that predictability is nothing but the machine learning model. Understanding, visualization, and giving sense to whatever unstructured data you have in hand is nothing but the role of a data scientist. Right? So these are different careers like ML designer, robotics analyst, AI designer, cognitive copywriter, AI engineer, AI developer, etc. Right? So, okay, Rahul, which one has more scope? It again depends. So this is not about scope. This is about your core interest on whether you like playing around with data, whether you are good at that structured thinking, or you're good at applying some good logic and kind of applying good logic and kind of building a model, right? Coding and kind of putting it into practical application. So two different careers will, both these careers will have completely different skill sets required. So it depends on which skill set you have pursued more. Okay, Keshav, can we say that data analysis is a pre-step to ML? Yes, Keshav, definitely. So data analysts are the ones who kind of feeds that data to ML. Without a data analyst or a data scientist, without giving that structure to that data, you can't apply ML algorithm. So suppose, let's say We have web traffic. So suppose I capture 20 different parameters on anyone who is visiting Mindler website today. So if I just throw it onto an ML engineer, they would not even know what to do with that data, because it is so unstructured that you don't have a structure, you don't have an output requirement on what you want to do with that data. So you can't apply an ML algorithm. Data analysts and data science work closely on this data, on the raw data, put a structure to it, give a required output, and pass it on to an ML engineer or a scientist, where they are required to build these data models. Python a good language to enter AI? Lakshita, Python is not a good language. It is the best language to enter into AI or ML, right? So 80% of the natural libraries or the AI libraries you see in the internet today, 80 to 90% of them are on Python. Rest are divided like majorly on Node.js, but yes. So R is another programming, or I would say data processing language, which is used by non-programmers. Non-computer science guys use R for processing data. All computer science guys, or even someone in the software domain who wants to do programming, would definitely prefer Python. See, Mohammed Harris, for that matter, any programming language can be used. There is no such restriction to build machine learning models as such, right? But if you look at the pre-existing libraries, ready-to-use libraries, so there are a lot of complex algorithms in terms of neural networks, deep learning, which you can readily use, which are open source libraries, right? Most of those libraries are built on Python and Node.js, Python especially, right? Even if you use Java, you might not find so much exhaustive libraries ready to use in AI or ML. So Nikita has, what are the benefits of learning AI for school going? So Nikita, at school level, you need not learn core advanced AI or machine learning models as such, but having a knowledge about it would help you in terms of your career decision on why you want to choose a particular stream and what you can expect from that particular domain. If you can have that knowledge enough with you, you can choose your graduation wisely. Right? Okay. I think we can take queries. You can drop us any more detailed queries. We have another speaker with us. Swati, can we hand it over to Dr. Dilip?
Yes, we have Dr. Dilip with us, who will now walk you through a little bit about his university and will take a number of questions that we have.
Sure. So, guys, we'll quickly take more questions at the end. Stay patient. So, let's hear Dr. Dilip's opinion about AI salaries. I'm sure Sir has some opinion on all these domains. So, let's quickly
Yep.
take Sir's on board. Yeah, please, Swati, go ahead.
Yeah. So thanks, Adi, for first of all for this generous introduction at the beginning. And before moving ahead, let me congratulate Savine for such an informative talk.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now, I must say about the Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal, is one of the fastest growing and one of the most awarded university of Central India. And it's currently offering around 56 degree programs for more than 2,500 students from different countries and various states of India. And we have several prestigious awards such as University of the Year from the government of Madhya Pradesh for the consecutive 4 years, and recognized as a global league institution at the House of Commons, London, UK. And in short, few of the key features I would like to share, like more than 25 international universities and industries are our knowledge partner. And under JLU Ignited Mind Knowledge Series, more than 500 CEOs and top professionals have interacted with our students. Universities have around 230-acre campus with a high-tech creative and practice lab, 1,000+ research publication along with the several patents book published so far by our students and of course our faculty members, and 100+ MNCs for that have been recruited our students so far. And now if you talk about brief on JLU School of Engineering and Technology, so we offer the BTech Honors program in Computer Science and Engineering. And why honors? Because students will have to earn some extra credits in terms of specializations that we offer. And just like other streams in engineering as well, nowadays the honors courses are more in demand as compared to those of plain or conventional courses. So Yeah, I was going through the chat box and I was looking after the various, the questions that the students were asking, which college is, providing the degree on or the specialization over the artificial intelligence. So I must say, considering what industry needs, we design our curriculum. Specifically, we have introduced two widely popular specialization on the one is BTech Honors Computer Science and Engineering with a specialization in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and another one is a user experience as a specialization. And of course, apart from these, we also have the BCA and even BCA Honors with a specialization in user experience, and the PG programs, MTech in Computer Science and Engineering and PhD. And we offer these specialization courses with the various USPs, like international industrial training program, where students will get international exposure, industrial partnerships such as Amazon XP, CompTIA, and Design Tech CAD Academy. We're having dedicated semester for industrial internship or training programs, smart classrooms, well-equipped labs, impressive placement records, right? And one more thing, our curriculum is well designed with Tuning India projects that's funded by the European Union. And if we'll talk about research initiative at the JLU School of Engineering and Technologies, numerous research papers, book chapters have been published by our students, research scholars, and the faculty members. And we have published various patents, which definitely show the research strength of the school.
Sir, can you help us understand a little bit about what kind of internships and placement opportunities students have in the entire domain of computer science? What are the different kinds of opportunities that students can look at?
Yeah, sure. But in brief, like here in JLU that we offer, before going to that questions, the one thing that we believe on the project-based learning, right, which really help for relating theory to practical applications. And because students remember their project experience better and are able to identify their own strength in the area of personal development while doing the hands-on development over the projects. And for this, we always motivate our students to do some innovative project. And even the university is having the provision to grant amount up to 20 lakhs to develop the innovative projects by our students.
Right.
And
Sir, so
yeah,
please. Yes. Yes, sir.
So can we get more idea in terms of, so I've seen a course like in terms of computer science specialization with AI and ML, right? So how does, can you give us an inputs in terms of how does computer science really enable in terms of career in AI and ML? Like how does role or importance the computer science engineering play in the background for a career in AI and ML? So can you give us more thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, I must say somebody has mentioned correctly that computer is a part of everything that we do, right? And it means computing and computer technologies are part of just about everything that touches our life, from the car we drive to the movie that we watch to the way business and the government deals with us, right? And basically what computer science engineers students do, they study the design and development analysis of the software and hardware that used to solve the real world problems or in a variety of business, scientific or social contexts, right? And moving to the artificial intelligence, which is a field of computer science that teach the machine how to understand the human mind and react like a humans. And the aim of AI is to build machines that can think, behave, and understand the way humans do, right? So you can see multiple examples, which is already mentioned many examples by you, like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, and when you play video games, right? Most of you may be playing, so you always find artificial intelligence as your maybe opposite player, right? And even AI ML is present in a Google search, gives recommendations while typing in a search box, right? So today, artificial intelligence engineer is one of the most prominent job role, right? But the question is same: who is artificial intelligence engineer? So I must say, the one have sound knowledge of programming, software engineering, and data science, use different tools and techniques to process the data, right? And develop and maintain artificial intelligence systems. So among these basic requirements to become an AI engineer, the first two requirements can be only fulfilled by through a study of various computer science and engineering core subjects, right? So apart from these requirements, of course, AI engineer must have proficient on analytical skills, problem solving, and creative thinkings. So but these skills can be achieved through computer science engineering. So I would say it is mandatory, or it should be must that you should go through the core subject of computer science and engineering to become a proficient in artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, sir. Sir, so what are the advantages of actually pursuing a core degree in computer science rather than like learning it apart from computer science? How would a computer science degree help a student?
This is what just I mentioned. If we'll be having the computer science degree, then of course, in order to go to the specialization part, means this artificial intelligence and machine learning is this a part of specializations, we can say, right? So in order to go to the specialization parts, we must have the basic and thorough knowledge of core computer subjects, and that definitely will get through the computer science and engineering degree, right? So and the best part would be if you will get a flavor of the combination of these two, right? Means if you will get the core computer science subject along with the specializations. So this is what, like as I mentioned, this is what at our university, at Jagran Lake City University, I must say we are offering, means the combination of,
Right, sir.
means now it's not a conventional computer science and engineering that we offer. We offer a BTech honors degree with the specializations. Mean the computer science
Right.
engineering core
Right,
subject
sir.
student will learn, and then the specialization part, artificial intelligence and machine learning.
So we
Sir,
have
I'll just come to the specializations in a minute. I have a couple of questions that students are asking. Sir, this is Savani, sir, this is majorly for you. So, like you covered earlier, AI and how is it different from ML? So, could you help us understand those differences a little?
right. So artificial intelligence is not a subject. So artificial intelligence is more of an output. Machine learning is a proper subject or a model which you implement to build some intelligence, right? So ML is definitely a subset of AI, right? So I had one more question, like good, interesting question from audience, right? Among IT and CS, which one is best for ML and AI,
Right.
right? So most of the students, sir, have got this. I've found this in a lot of students. They don't even know the difference between IT and CS also, right? So IT is more about handling your information or the kind of backend side of it, the data side of it, or I would say networking and computing side of it. So computer science engineer is someone who kind of puts forward in terms of software development or the front end side of the application which you see, right? So IT and CS will have a lot of common subjects for sure, but which is best for MLAI if you want to program something, if you want to kind of be the front face of building that model. Yes, computer science definitely will give you that advantage, as sir was also saying about how computer science programmers would become better MLAI developers, right? In terms of IT, it's a bit different. You can feed in data, you can store data, you can kind of understand servers, network by from IT engineering, but not a core machine learning modeling, right?
Right,
Yeah.
sir.
Any other questions you have from the audience?
Sir, so some of the one question from the audience. So, sir, what is the admission procedure to Jagran Lake University? And also, if you can tell us a little bit about more about the specializations that you offer in the field of computer science.
Yeah, sure. See, admission procedure that we follow, we are having the, you always visit our website, jlu.edu.in, and there you'll get a registration form, right? So you have to first register, and then definitely you'll get a call for the interview, which is scheduled from the admission cell. And based on the your performance over the interview, that you'll be selected for pursuing your degree, right? And we also, entertain like for the engineering, the JE course, and of course, if you are, having excellent uh, record on the JE course, if you say, so you'll be having plenty of scholarships also, right? That we offer based on the JE course, and even if you are excellent on the sports, if you have played sports at the level of national or the internationals, so that we always encourage. And now and the next one, the various specialization that the students can pursue. So in context of computer science and engineering, so definitely I must say that there are several specializations are available, right? But two the most trending and demanding specializations as per the need of the industries today, I must say the one is, of course, on which we are talking, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is in demand, right? In almost all the industries are started working over, or somehow they are using the concept of AI and ML for their products, right? And the another one I must say is the user experience, right? So which might be a new term, user experience, what kind of specialization it is. So I would like to brief, because it's one of the very interesting the specialization field, which is really huge in demand nowadays in industry. And what exactly user experience, or in short sometimes we also call UX, right? Is basically every enterprise require an online application, of course, right? For their or website for its marketing nowadays. So and every single IT industry developing these kind of application would look for the designer to ensure good user experience for their applications, right? And why? Because it's very simple. See, nowadays if you go to the maybe the Google App Store, you will find plenty of application for even a single one. The problem maybe for if you type, okay, you want to download a simple calculator, so you'll get a plenty of applications available on calculator itself, right? And now you have to choose which calculator you want to download and use, right? So and that's totally depend on the calculator which give you better user experience, right? So this is what the companies nowadays looking, the expert or the persons who is better on designing the interface, user interface, for a better user experience, which give a better user experience, I mean to say, right? So this is one of the very you know I can say very hot specializations nowadays in the market, right? So and looking into this, we are offering that also, this is specialization. Why I'm telling we are offering this and that also, because this is what the industry need, right? And as a university, we always believe we have to be updated, right? In our through our BUS, our curriculum should be updated as per the industry need, because ultimately we are producing the engineer for industry only. Ultimately, the engineer have to go and join the industry only and work as per the industry need. So now the time has gone. Okay, let's study the conventional course itself, like the way earlier we used to study. Right now the universities have to change as per the industry need, and we have to react immediately as per the need of the industry. Right.
So,
Yeah.
sir, Savini sir, having worked in the industry,
Yeah.
what is your take on the use of user experience in the entire AI ML domain?
See, Swati, like, let me give you a quick example, right? So, in terms of user experience, let's look at a few like simple example where people have started switching social media itself for a better UX. Like people have been using Facebook. As soon as you got a better something like an Insta, none of the kids today are actually on Facebook because the user experience is simpler in some other social media platforms, right? So that UX plays a major role in terms of how easy it is for the user to kind of adopt a product that actually gives you a better business and better user base, right? So we have another interesting question from the audience, sir, like in terms of is AI going to eliminate jobs, right? Stuff like that. So someone, Jagannath or someone was asking about it, just flew by, right? So I have some interesting thoughts on it. Maybe you can add on it, right? So guys, AI is not actually eliminating jobs. It is just eliminating some redundant jobs. But the amount of jobs it started eliminating, it is creating double the number of jobs required to build that automation, right? Suppose, let's say, if there is one job which is eliminated because in a particular process, but to understand that process and to build a model to understand that process itself need three more guys in that place, right? So the skill set required for future is just changing, not the entire job opportunity. So try to focus on that adaptive skill sets which you learn through it. So another interesting question from the audience is, how can people from commerce background can actually get into AI/ML? Guys, have been seeing a lot of people applying for jobs in terms of data analyst or data scientist roles are actually good when they come from a commerce background, because they're so good with numbers and they're so good with processing information at any point of time, right? So a BCom guy with good knowledge in maths and processing data will perform better as a data analyst and data scientist. They will not be able to write a code immediately, but the initial phases, the kind of data processing they can do is much better than someone from a non-maths background also, right? So that's how every type, there is no such restriction in terms of your background to get into it. But yes, if you want to get into BTech, yes, definitely you need maths,
Yeah.
physics, MPC, PCM subjects, right? So yeah. So do you want to add anything in terms of AI jobs perspective?
Uh, I must say one thing. I was going through, some reports, right? So the one of the report, released by Accenture on impact of AI, right? So as per that report, the 12 developed economies reveal that AI could multiply the annual economic growth rates by 2035. By changing the nature of work and creating the new relationship between the man and machines. And that report also mentioned one thing, and that is, it also, increase the labor productivity by 40%. So that itself, that study itself shows it's not kind of the things that it's going to reduce the job opportunities from the markets. And said by Savina. Yes, of course, it's going to reduce the unnecessary tasks, right? And it's going to make the things so that can be done efficiently, of course.
Right. So somebody is asking, Mohammad Haris again asking, can brain be read through AI? So Haris says today is still not possible, but there was a device I saw in some research like 6 months ago. Some MIT Indian student in MIT was building this. So there was a device with your ear where you can type and search in Google without actually saying it. You can just think about it, and your nerve sensors detects that language and predicts and puts it in form of text. So you might not call it brain reading, but at least without speaking, that message is still passed onto the system, right? So that is possible in future for sure. Again, guys, sir, I found a lot of students in terms of just jumping onto AI/ML as a career just by looking at the fanciness or the kind of market requirement. But so for most of the students, I have met them, like they don't even understand, they don't even do that background research on what does this career entail, right? So a few of them definitely go through our assessment in terms of understanding whether they have the right skill set to pursue that or not.
Mhm.
So I would like to kind of just, with your permission, I would like to speak about like what our product does in terms of to assess their skill sets, whether they are right for a particular career or not. So few of the students who are in the audience might already be Mindler customers, but for those who are not, right? So what we do, so Mindler as a product, we kind of assess your skill sets in terms of your personality, your aptitude, your emotional, and your kind of thinking style. Based on that, we'll be able to give you a better understanding on whether a particular stream of career, like I'll not say whether you will become a data scientist or a data analyst, but at least we would be saying whether you have right skill set to perform something or to kind of pursue something in this particular data analysis domain, right? That kind of understanding is required for you to, before getting into it, just by the fanciness of it, don't jump onto any particular career, right? So suppose, because sir, in my, like I have passed out in 2011 in my college, right? by now in the last 8-9 years, more than 50% of the people have changed their careers over time.
Right.
Even they might have done it from computer science also, right? But still they have switched their careers based on the opportunities they got and based on the interest or passion they found later, right? So fanciness will lead them to that conclusion jump. They should not jump to that kind of conclusion of taking up a particular career, but yes, do enough research and kind of understand that. So Sisti has a question, can Mindler help me decide my career? Definitely, Sisti. That is what Mindler does. You can get in touch with any of our team members. So sorry. So sir, you also had some brief campus video walkthrough also, I guess.
Yeah, sure. What I want, if we can show that.
I'll just play the video.
Yes,
One
yes, please.
second. One second.
It's a small glimpse of the campus life of Jharkhand Lake City University.
I think the campus life here is beautiful, it's vibrant, it's energetic, it gives you that rush, you want to keep coming to college every day.
You can be free, you can be, interactive. There are a lot of places to go. We have a huge campus.
JLU is anyway known for the grand events that we have. So there's Sunburn, then there's, small peppy shows that are coming up.
A lot of fests organized. There's Ethnic Fest, and then there's we have concerts here. Big DJs come up every year. There's such fest. In terms of co-curricular activities, we also have competitions. We have a swimming pool, so there's swimming competition, football ground.
We have Festival of Media, which is one of the biggest fests of Bhopal, and it gives you the international exposure.
And then there's Student Service Cell is doing a lot of Garba Fest. And so every festival there comes, some JLU has something to offer in that festival.
We all live like a family here. The seniors are very sweet to the freshers. There is no problems for a guy who lives away from home for the first time. Everyone is very supportive.
I want to get up every day and come to this college to have fun, to study. It's amazing.
That was awesome, sir.
Yeah, we are having very beautiful campus. If you will see, it's surrounded by hills, and you can see the natural beauty as well there.
Right.
So yes, I
Infrastructure.
just want to touch upon something which I have just while the video was playing, some of the audience were talking about Amazon TV series Upload. Right. I don't know if we have watched it. I actually watched it last week. Right. So guys, that is a very interesting TV series where after death your entire data is being stored and you can still live virtually. Right. So you can kind of upload and download your body from physical world to a virtual world. That is really possible technically, but still not being used. Your memories can be fed in, like not automatically from the brain as it is shown, but yes, you can kind of store a few things and kind of project thing. And for that to be possible, understand the amount of data to create a virtual world like that, the amount of data and the amount of process and amount of background it requires to build a virtual world altogether, right? Technically, yes. Theoretically, it is possible. That is where they have kind of emphasized a bit and created that TV series. But practically, yes, don't try that yet. We can't read your brains through AI yet. But still, you can feed in some data and save your memories somewhere. Maybe it is possible. We can bring you back onto the virtual world whenever that is possible.
Right.
Right.
So thank you so much, Savana sir. Thank you so much, Deep sir, for walking us through AI and through the specializations and helping students understand what is the power and what are the careers in this domain. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Swati. Thank you, friends, all for having patience and listening to us. So please drop us a mail at hello@mindler.com for any further queries. We'll be happy to help you out. Right? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.